like I said before, the only reason someone would ever become a police officer is if they want to be a serial killer without having to deal with going to jail. You know, I always say this, the most prolific serial killers in the United States are police officers. Why? Because it's written into the legal code they can kill as many people as they want. And when it comes to cops, they often don't have a problem killing each other. You know, it's a very competitive industry, if you will. You know, who's the most prolific serial killer? I don't know. I'm going to kill you so that I can leapfrog you on the leaderboard. Well, cops killing other cops sometimes gets a little out of control, even for me. And sometimes I see a headline like this and I just want to jump out a window, but thankfully I live on the first story. So, I mean, it wouldn't really, I wouldn't be hurt at all. But anyway, second K-9 officer in 1 week dies in a hot car after the safety system and air conditioning fail. Now, I just want to, real quick, what is a K-9 officer? That is a dog. Now, you may, I have a dog. Maxie, come here. I'm talking about you. I have a dog. His name is Max the dog. Now, could you imagine leaving this precious creature inside of a fucking hot car? Max, get on camera. I'm trying to... Can you imagine leaving this guy in a fucking car? Anyway, Max is not cooperating. But could you imagine... Now, second of all, I know a lot of people in this country, they're fucked up, okay? What is this autoplay? They're fucked up, right? People having pets for the whole purpose of abusing them is very common in this country. I mean, look at why people have kids. Having kids is a way to legally have a slave in your household that you can pretty much torment, beat the shit out of, psychologically, physically, emotionally abuse to your heart's content, and the government doesn't give a shit, right? And the same applies for cops with K-9s, so-called K-9s. They're never necessary. They don't really change anything for the better. All they do is just, it's just kind of torturing them, really. And just another thing, if you were, and I'm not saying you would because you're not a cop, but if you were to kill a K-9, let's say a K-9 is biting your leg off and you have a gun and you shoot the K-9 to stop the pain, you would be charged with killing a police officer. They treat K-9s in the same way that they treat police. Unless a human cop kills a dog cop, then all of a sudden dogs aren't cops anymore. Dogs are cops when you try to remove a K-9 from biting your leg. People have been charged with assaulting a police officer because a K-9 was biting their leg or arm and they touched the dog and tried to pull them away, push them away. They have been charged with assaulting a police officer for touching a dog that is actively harming them. And yet, as the headline says, second K-9 officer dead in 1 week. So it seems to me that there is a systematic killing of cops in Texas. Now, oftentimes I come on my show and I tell you, officer down, look how great that is. Except I, because I'm a rational person, understand that cops cannot be dogs. Why? Because they're dogs. And dogs aren't cops. Now, I say that because they're good things. I think dogs shouldn't be allowed to become cops. I think that that is torture, that is animal abuse. Now, of course, that's normalized in society. But, I mean, come the fuck on now. Jesus fucking Christ. If I touch a K-9, I'm assaulting a police officer. You're killing 2 K-9s. No big deal. I mean, this shit just fucking pisses me off. It really does. A Texas police dog died Monday after being left alone in a hot car just a week after a Georgia K-9 succumbed to the same fate. Aaron, a 4-year-old K-9 with nearly 2 years on the job, died from heat exhaustion in Houston after the cruiser's engine spontaneously failed. Wow, it spontaneously failed. Aaron's handler, who had left the pup in a running and air-conditioned vehicle, returned to find Aaron in distress and rushed him to an emergency veterinarian, but was too late. I have a question. Unidentified handler, reportedly struggling. Are they struggling in a jail cell? They killed a cop. Now, again, under most circumstances, a cop being killed to me is a cause for celebration. But I'm just curious. So cops can kill other cops and get away with it? Like, you know, I'm glad he's struggling with his actions of being a murderer. That makes me happy. But I would prefer that he struggle in a jail cell. Like, if you were attacked by a cop dog and you tried to push the dog away from you, you would be in a jail cell for assaulting a police officer. So I'm just curious. I'm curious as to what the law is. Because if the law says that canines are equivalent to cops, what does this mean? Can cops kill other cops? Human cops and get away with it? I'm just curious. I don't know. But anyway, this is one of the largest animal abuse rackets in the United States. Some other rackets include dog breeding competitions, you know, people that breed dogs for competitive purposes. That's an animal abuse racket. There's other sorts of animal abuse that takes place that's rampant in the United States, but police as an institution, as a gang, are one of the largest contributors to animal abuse. And again, I mean, this shit is just fucking, it's disgusting. It really is. The way that they, you know, the whole thing, the whole cop dog thing, it really fucking, it fucks with my brain, you know? It really does. It really does. It's disgusting. But anyway, if you don't have any more reasons why you want to hate cops or whatever, here's one. They kill dogs. There you go. So